Hi there, it's Mark, and it is a bit of a cold day here in San Francisco. Still did our yoga out here on the deck, 13th floor office space, and yeah, we got warm and it felt good. And so now I'm doing the reading from the Golden Present, Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda, and this is for August 15th, and the heading is God Will Answer Your Prayers. God is everywhere. You can talk to anything or anybody, and God will present himself through that. A small stone or piece of paper can answer you. A picture or a small light can answer you. If you're looking for God in those things, it is not just a piece of paper or a stone or a piece of metal that you will see. It is God. That is what you are looking for, and that is what you see. When you sincerely look for God, he has to be present there and do his part. In this age, God is more kind and more merciful. He doesn't demand much austerity. Even a little giving is enough. In those days, when everything was beautiful, God demanded more. In this age, he knows that there are a lot of things to distract you. If you're going to think of him even a little in the midst of all the distractions, that is tremendous. That is a tremendous thing for him. He will love you more. God does not look for quantity. He wants quality. Even if a little bit of sincere prayer is offered once from a devoted heart, that prayer will be answered. If your prayer is not answered, don't blame God. Probably it did not come from a 100% sincere heart. Be more sincere. Cry and weep. Probably you might feel ashamed or embarrassed if you do that in front of others. So shut your door. Then there is no one else but you and God. You can be totally free from any shame, and God will answer your prayers. There is no doubt about it. Let us develop that kind of faith and trust in God, surrender to him, and receive all the guidance. He is ready to pour out his grace and guidance if we are ready to receive it. Some years ago, I'm sure I would have read this and felt like I couldn't completely relate to it, because it calls for having faith that there is some greater power, some greater source operating in the world. And, it really wasn't probably till about something like 15, 20 years ago that this became more clear to me, that I did start to believe there was something operating on a higher level. I had little glimpses of it here and there, but it wasn't until I started to really take more of an overview of my life and look at some of my uh, life circumstances and things that happened in my life through the years, that I started to see that there must be something guiding me, because I couldn't have come up with all this. And once again, I love that Swami Satchidananda is speaking about God in this very spacious way. God is everywhere. He's in this piece of paper. He's in this piece of metal. Just something that you revere, that you honor and have a sincere relationship to this thing, whether it's a person, a thing, or a prayer. That Swami Satchidananda is saying that effort, that kind of devotion and perspective creates a form of alignment that energetically will move us towards the thing we wish for. Now, it may not be the path that we're imagining, but I do feel that things start to open up in a way that they wouldn't otherwise if we're causing some closing in energy. I actually just had a student, and she and I were just speaking, that it's a TED Talk she saw, where they spoke about body language and how powerful that was. They did a saliva test, and they noticed that in the saliva, that in a closed position versus an open position, in minutes, there was a change in the cortisol levels of the people, and it actually shifted to this more powerful, energizing place simply from a body posture. Hormones and all that came back to a balancing state or increased in a healthy way, simply based on the way that we hold our body. So if you take that and you think of the yoga postures, there's even more benefit that's happening, because so much of this is, lengthening and stretching and finding ways to create this opening in the front of the body, which is a very empowering movement to do. And all day long, we're more going in this direction, shoulders curling forward, and that's energetically closing in. And then, according to that TED Talk, our cortisol levels are also really, the stress levels are really becoming more intensified. So what happens when we do this? It centers us in a certain kind of a way. I mean, there's motions in yoga where we do a folding forward that actually does trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, where some of the arching is sympathetic nervous system. So there's some, nuances to that, but we need to counterbalance how our bodies are energetically reacting in the world. And if we're closing in all the time, just as if we're opening up all the time, that can cause a certain kind of stress. So it's finding that right kind of balance, which the whole sequence of asana practice, a hatha class generally will move through that. Sort of got off on that topic, but the idea of I like this too, where he's like, if your prayer is not answered, don't blame God. You need to be more sincere. Cry and weep. He goes there. He's just like, let it all out. Like, shut the door and just, have that moment to commune with this deep part of yourself. And I think we often don't do that also. Allow that deep, sincere emotion, that pain that's connected to a lot of layers of different pain, to let that release. Because then in there, I think we do find more of who we are. I know I've had those moments, so I'm grateful that they come. So thanks for watching. I'm grateful that you're taking time to see this, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.